Oh, uh, hear me out. I mean, thanks for coming to the door with no warning, but what I was trying to, what I'm here to, oh gosh. I'm so sorry. I had this all planned, but then you opened the door, and it was you. And no matter how many times I pictured your face appearing in that doorway, I guess I just wasn't ready for the real thing. So, let me just start by saying I know you don't have to be talking to me right now, and I know I don't even deserve it. All I ask is that you just give me, like, a few minutes to explain myself, and then I know you'll understand. Whether you forgive me or not is up to you, but I need you to know that it wasn't anything you did wrong. Slow down? Uh, Sorry, you're right. I'd understand if you didn't want to see me right now or ever, so I wanted to get this all out while I still had the chance. Wait, you're serious? You don't know what. Well, you have to know that I've been ignoring you for a week now, like an asshole. And it's not that big of a deal? Come on. Maybe I overreacted a little bit, but you can't honestly tell me you're not a little bit disappointed I disappeared on you. Yeah, see? Look, I'm relieved you're not, like, furious at me or whatever, but you should be a little disappointed, so I'm glad. I'm glad you value yourself enough for that. I am not being too hard on myself. I had a lot going on personally, but that doesn't just make it okay. I have feelings and they were hurting, but you have feelings too, and even though I'm relieved I didn't totally screw up and, like, destroy them, it's still really important to me that I explain to you why I vanished like that, because it wasn't right, and I wanted to show up in person and just straighten everything out. No, don't worry. I walked into that joke, but no, I'm definitely not straight. I didn't get confused. You didn't get pranked. You aren't the silly mistake I'll laugh about in 10 years. That kiss wasn't a mistake. It couldn't have been. It's just that things got complicated, and I know that's no excuse, okay? Like I said, you've got feelings, and it's one of the things I really like about you. How much you care about people, about me, how kind and patient you were willing to be, and I want you to know how much I value that. You, of all people, cannot call me sappy. Okay, if I'm sappy, you love it. God, it feels so good to fall right back into our old rhythm. It's so right. But I don't want to do that. You're so forgiving, and I love that, but I don't want to just pretend this didn't happen. I want you to know how badly I wanted to be around you, to be with you, and why I felt like I couldn't. Can I can I come in? Thanks. You're the best. I do not praise you too much. Look, I'm just balancing it. Nobody appreciates you as much as you deserve. I don't know how you don't know what I mean. Like, you should know everything you've done for me. You were there for all of it. Most people aren't true friends like you. And I wish you knew how special you are. Yeah, right. I'm just, like, buttering you up so you forget when I ignored you for a week. Well, that's exactly what I don't want it to seem like, which is why maybe we should just get that part over with. That way you can really decide if you want me around anymore. Yeah, I know. I'm kidding. If you still want me around, I'm not going anywhere. Ever. I promise. Will I sign a con... Alright, that's fair. You get a few free shots in at me. But if you're joking about it, I'm at least a little less scared I totally screwed everything up. I'd have hated to lose you. Well, can we sit down somewhere, or? Oh, yeah, you know that's my favorite place to hang out together. Always was when we were kids, too. But haven't I lost my sitting on your bed privileges? For at least a little bit? Alright, I'll sit on your bed. Gee, talk about a reaction. You'd think you were planning to pounce on me or something. Uh, not that, um, shut up. You know this is all new and exciting and a lot for me, and I'm still not even sure how you aren't pissed as hell at me right now, and I think it's only because you're wonderful, and... and I'm really lucky. Sorry, you know, I laugh when I get nervous, and I talk a lot, and... Anyway, you're so sweet to check, but I'm fine. I'm okay. Yeah, it's a lot. I'm ready now, though. So, uh, I don't want to just word flood you, but do you mind if I just kind of do exactly that for a minute? Okay, cool. Cause yeah, I don't know how else to do this when I don't even really know what I'm trying to say. So, we kissed. We kissed, and that was like a thing that happened, which I still can't really believe because it was like maybe the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. It was like fireworks going off inside my lips and my mouth and my heart, and everybody says it will be, but you think they're exaggerating, and then it's like you just breathed for the first time. That's what I told you at the time, right? And obviously I with the girls I'd been with, but it was like suddenly realizing that the whole time you'd thought kissing was just kind of meh. It turns out you were actually just not kissing the right person. And then my brain exploded because I started thinking about all the other things that I thought were just disappointing, everything else about relationships, and I wondered if those were just things I was doing with the wrong people. And if this was just kissing you, I started to wonder everything that's supposed to be wonderful, how amazing it could be with you. I didn't, shut up, that's not what I meant. I meant being with you, just all the things in relationships where I was just trying to force things to feel how they were supposed to, and they just weren't. Just all the times I felt like I was just pushing rope. Yeah, okay, I did that one on purpose. Hey, you don't get a monopoly on innuendos and double meanings. I can't let you totally beat me at that game every time, like you have since we were kids. But seriously, I mean a whole lot more than that. I mean just the trust and the intimacy and the just leaning on each other. And it felt like that's what we've been doing the whole time anyway, all our lives since we were kids. And that's why I said that thing about how, in a way, we'd always been more than friends, even if we hadn't known it, because we'd both felt it that hard. And we'd both just been afraid. And I'd been thinking about all of that. If it wasn't obvious, that relationship that fell through before I came over that day, it was. I mean, she could tell. I'd talk about you and just. Of course, she'd have never, like, actually come out and guessed something like that, but I was starting to notice how I sounded when I talked about you, too, and what my heart did when I thought about you, and I kind of knew what was happening. And so I just said to her, "Hey, have you noticed these things?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "I don't want to hurt you." And she said, "You won't." And I said, "Do you think I'm gay?" And she smiled and put a hand on me and said, "I don't know. I can't know that for you. I can't decide it for you. How do you feel?" And I said, I think I've been hopelessly in love with him since we were kids. And she said, see, you knew the answer to that question. And that's all that matters. Doesn't matter what it makes you or what it means, but you want to be with him, so go be with him. Don't worry about anything else, because we're not here for a long time. And there's no point aching for something you might be able to have and never trying. It was honestly great advice. We weren't that serious, so she didn't take it too hard, and I think I'd stopped trying anyway. I was going into these things putting barely enough energy into them so nobody got hurt when... Because on some level, I knew, you know? So, then I came over, and well, first, it was the beginning of June, and I wished you happy Pride, and I knew we'd always gone together, and the YouTube algorithm somehow got the crazy idea that I kind of like those stupid shorts where there's like a boy and another boy, and they might be kind of in love or dating or kissing, you know, those stupid things, just low effort content, just silliness, but it felt less real that way, you know? So it didn't feel like as big of a deal when I'd watch them and you'd pop into my head and I'd just be filled with this ache, this horrible, painful longing, but it felt so good. And my heart would just start threatening to bust my rib cage open, and my skin was on fire, and my blood was ice, and I was sweating and grinning like crazy, and just... She used the right word. Ache. I was aching for you, so I did it. I decided I'd just do it, and I did, and I was so happy. But after I left the next morning, it was like all those things she told me not to worry about came back. I felt like I didn't know who I was, and it's not like I really cared. Like, I didn't give a shit what word best described myself. At least, I wasn't in a hurry. I just knew I wanted you. But that meant I had to become someone, like, you know, you're used to being with guys who, like, know they're this thing and have some general experience or have thought about themselves this way for some time, and, like, I just didn't know how to become what you deserve. Like, I just knew I wanted to be with you, but that doesn't really give you anything. I'm not bringing anything to the table because I don't know how to do any of this. I started panicking about the stupidest shit. I'd be like, wait, if we ever go on a date, who pays? And, like, that's so stupid because I don't even think most straight couples our age do it that way anymore. I mean, in my relationships, we were always either alternating or just splitting it. Like, it's such an old-fashioned thing. Like, and more to the point, what the fuck does it matter? We've been friends basically our entire lives. It's not a disaster if I have to ask you how to do these things. But it was just stupid shit like that. Stuff that doesn't even matter. And I think it was just my brain's symbolic way of trying to tell me I didn't want you to feel like my dirty little secret or my experiment or my special exception. I wanted to become somebody who knows who I am, not because it matters inherently, but because I wanted you to feel like I took this seriously and actually knew how to, like, date you, because I didn't want you to just throw away any other better opportunities you might have had just because you felt guilty about your old friend from childhood having an identity crisis in his 20s, which I guess is still earlier than a lot of people. But when you've known as long as you have, when I've stood by you for so long and always supported you and always been so, so proud of you in a way that I don't think was ever, like, not related to something I felt and just didn't know I felt. You inspire me so much, and you've become this strong, strong person who is just so sure of who he is and what he wants, despite everything that's working against you. And the thought that I had to, like, equal that, be good enough for what you deserve, and you were putting all this faith in me because when you kissed me, I felt it, and hearing you'd wanted this as long as I had, it was just like You seemed so happy that day with who you thought I was. And you were putting so much faith in me to be who you thought I was. And you thought so highly of me. I didn't think it was possible to live up to everything your heart wanted. Because you thought I was so much better than I think I am. And so I drifted away. I just meant to take a day or two or a few days, just get my mind under control and take a deep breath or two. But I stayed scared, and I got more and more scared. And I always do this where I let time pass and then it gets worse and it gets scarier because now it's the original scary thing and I've been ghosting the person, and so I let it go further. But Pride's tomorrow and I'm sitting there thinking, I've gone with him every year since he came out. I helped him sneak out when I was the only person in the world he'd trusted enough to tell, and I paid for half of that Uber downtown. And when we realized we were getting you home with a hickey, we stopped at CVS and we looked up that makeup tutorial and I covered it for you. Or tried, anyway. There's no way I'm missing it this year, especially after my little cheesy confession, just because of my stupid, irrational panicking. So, even though I was scared to death that I was promising to be better than I really am, I finally just said, you know what? He's been my best friend for almost our entire lives. He knows me better than anyone in the world, better than I know myself, even. And if he thinks he wants me around, maybe I'd better just shut up and be around, because I can't pretend I don't want it so bad I can't breathe. Just don't duh me. Do you have any idea how fucking awesome you are? How could I not be afraid I'm not good enough? Look, I'm just lucky you apparently don't know how special you are, because you deserve so much better than... uh, I guess that, I guess that answers that question. But there's still the matter of me disappearing right when you were beginning to lean on me, right when I said you could lean on me, and... But it's important. It's important that you know I'm really sorry. And if we go forward with anything like this, I'm going to promise to be better. Just please let me do that, okay? Thank you. It's important. I feel like I start supporting you a little more after all the times you've supported me. Really? Well, that means a lot to me. I hope that's true. I hope I've helped at least a little. Okay, more than a little. A hypocrite? How am I a hypocrite? Okay, first of all, I'm not always overloading you with appreciation, and second of all, I don't not let you do the same. I just... Okay, fine. Maybe I'm a little resistant about it sometimes, but it's just 'cause you're really special, and I want you to know that. That's all. Well, don't say you can't believe it. Is it really that out of character for me to be terrified somebody's furious at me and it's like not actually a big deal? That shouldn't be surprising at this point. Well, um, I was at least hoping you wouldn't be too mad. Because I did actually bring, I brought some overnight stuff. Because I was just thinking, if we're going to Pride tomorrow anyway, maybe might as well just... Really? Alright, great. Thanks. I guess I'll just go get my stuff. Be right back. Take that. I kicked your princess saving ass as Zelda. That has to be top 10 girl boss moments for sure. See? Not too good when I tell you Link's down A is off limits, are you? Uh-huh. We'll see about that next time. Alright, we've got an early start tomorrow. We should probably get to bed. Haha, what? No, it has nothing to do with that. The fact that this way we end on a round that I actually won is simply a coincidence and nothing more. Look, if you're that confident in your skills, you shouldn't be worried at all. You've got plenty more chances to prove yourself anytime you want. But tomorrow's gonna come fast. I'm glad you're listening to reason. So, do you mind if I sleep in your bed, or... Well, it might be what we usually do, but after I ghosted you, I didn't want to just assume... Alright, I'll stop apologizing. I know it was only a week, but still... Okay, I'll stop. There's no obsession with your bed. I asked to sit on it earlier. Okay, I said it was my favorite place to hang out, so what? Well, I've always liked that, and I've always liked sleeping in it even better. I don't know, You'll laugh. Okay, fine. It smells like you, alright? No, not like in a weird way. Just, I don't know, your shampoo or your soap or your deodorant or something. You just use something that smells really good and you have for a long time, and it makes me feel safe when I smell that. Because it smells like you. Like being with you. Stop calling me sappy. I'm just being honest. I'm just trying to bring all of my feelings to this, even though they overwhelm me a little bit when it comes to you. Okay, mister, settle down. I'm coming. I'm glad we knew each other as young as we did. Because when it just became normal that early on that we'd sometimes hold on to each other while sleeping, I never had to question why sometimes it still happened when we got older. Well, now I've questioned. And I'm pretty thrilled about the answer. Hey, can I ask you a dumb question? Okay, so this whole gay thing, right? If you guys like the same smells, and you like smelling like your partner, do you just, like, start using the same soap and wearing the same deodorant? No, I am absolutely serious. Shut up, how would I know? I haven't done this before, and I'm sure at least some people do. Look, I was just asking. I was half kidding anyway. Well, maybe it's just my way of saying I love everything about you. And I want whatever you do when you feel that way about someone. That's what brought me to this moment, not realizing that I was something or felt something or even knew what was happening to me. It was just realizing that I knew who I wanted. And I want whatever you do when you feel that strongly about someone. And I don't even know or care what that is. I just want to do it. And maybe I just really like how you smell, okay? Shut up. Shut up. Look, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm sorry that scared me. But I know you're going to help me. And I know you're going to be patient and kind and all the great things you are. So there's nobody in the world I'd rather figure this out with than you, friend. because we'll always be best friends, no matter anything else. I might be a little nervous, but I'm glad I've got you at my side. Just like always. Hey, one more thing. Earlier I said kissing you was the craziest thing that ever happened to me. Well, that's not true. Knowing you is the craziest thing that's ever happened to me. And the most beautiful, too. And I'm luckier than words can express. Someday, I promise I'll be as proud of myself as I am of you, and as proud as you seem, as strong as you are. I promise that.